Millionaire sees girl with cancer, feeding his son, and it changes his life. Michael Thompson was falling apart in the corridors of Mercy Children's Hospital in New York City. His 2-year-old son had been hospitalized for 3 days with FOS, severe pneumonia that wasn't responding to antibiotics. "Daddy will be right back, sweetheart," he whispered to little Ethan, who was sleeping restlessly in the hospital bed. As he stepped out to get coffee, Michael stopped abruptly. Through the slightly open door of the next room, he saw a sight that left him frozen. A bald girl, no older than 8, was gently holding a spoon and feeding his son. Ethan, who had refused food for days, was opening his little mouth and accepting each bite with a weak smile. "That's it, little one. One more bite to make you strong," the girl said in a sweet voice despite her fragile appearance. Michael's heart clenched. How had Ethan left the room? And who was this child who had accomplished what neither he nor the nurses had managed in days? He approached slowly, not wanting to interrupt the moment. The girl noticed him and turned, revealing deep brown eyes that held a maturity beyond her years. "Are you his dad?" she asked, still feeding Ethan. "He was crying so much, and I asked the nurse to bring him here for a little while. She said it was okay." Yes, I'm his father," Michael stammered, still processing the scene. "How did you—" "I'm Olivia," she interrupted with a kind smile. "I've been living here at the hospital for a long time. I know how hard it is to eat when you don't feel good." Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. Michael studied the girl more closely. The lilac hospital gown hung loosely on her thin frame, and her bald head was a clear sign of chemotherapy. But there was a light in her eyes that defied any illness. Ethan looked at her as if she were an angel. "Thank you," was all Michael could say, his voice thick with emotion. "No need to thank me, mister. I like helping the little ones. They keep me company too." A nurse appeared at the door, looking relieved to see Michael. "Mr. Thompson, I was looking for you. I'm sorry. Olivia insisted so much, and I thought it wouldn't hurt to let Ethan stay with her for a bit. It's amazing how calm he got." "It's fine," Michael replied, still watching the interaction between the two children. "How long has Olivia been here?" Nurse Sarah hesitated before answering. "Almost 6 months. Her parents— well, it's complicated." Olivia stayed focused on Ethan, humming softly as she gave him another spoonful. Michael felt something stir inside him, a restlessness he couldn't name. "Can I speak to her parents? I'd like to thank them." Sarah exchanged a meaningful glance with Olivia, who lowered her eyes. "Olivia's parents don't visit her, Mr. Thompson." The silence that followed was heavy. Michael looked at the girl who was caring for his son with such tenderness, even as she fought a terrible illness alone. "There you go. Little one, you ate it all," Olivia cheered, making Ethan give a weak smile. "Now you'll be as strong as Superman." Michael stepped forward and picked Ethan up. The boy nestled against his chest, calmer than he'd been in days. "Olivia, thank you so much. You have a special gift." "I just did what anyone would do, mister," she replied, though there was a shadow of sadness in her smile. "Can I bring Ethan to visit you tomorrow when he's feeling better?" Olivia's eyes lit up. "Really? You'd come see me?" "Of course. You took care of my son when I couldn't. It's the least I can do." That night Michael couldn't sleep. The image of Olivia feeding Ethan wouldn't leave his mind. How could such a small child, fighting cancer and abandoned by her parents, maintain so much sweetness and compassion? The next day, Ethan showed significant improvement. The antibiotics had finally started working, but Michael knew part of his recovery was due to Olivia's kindness. "Daddy, want to see Liv?" Ethan asked as soon as he woke up, surprising Michael with his first words in days. "Of course, champ. But first, you need to eat breakfast." To his surprise, Ethan accepted the oatmeal without resistance, as if he wanted to get stronger to see his new little friend. When they arrived at Olivia's room, they found her sitting on the bed, drawing in a worn-out notebook. She looked up, and her face lit up. "Ethan, you really came." The boy stretched, his little arms toward her, and Michael sat him down beside Olivia on the bed. "Liv," Ethan exclaimed, gently touching her bald head. "No hair, huh? It's because I'm taking strong medicine to get better, but it'll grow back, the doctor promised. Michael sat in the chair beside the bed, watching the natural interaction between the two children. Olivia showed Ethan her drawings and he clapped excitedly. Olivia, tell me a little about yourself. How old are you? 8, mister. I had my birthday last month. Did you have a party? Her smile wavered for a moment. The nurses made a little cake. It was nice. Michael's chest tightened again. An 8-year-old spending her birthday alone in the hospital. And your parents? The nurse said they don't visit much. Olivia hugged her knees, looking smaller than she was. My mom said she can't bear to see me like this. My dad, he has another family now. I think they're ashamed of me. Ashamed? Why? Because I'm sick, bald, skinny. I'm not the pretty little girl they wanted anymore. The words came out with a heartbreaking simplicity. How could anyone abandon a child in such a difficult time? Olivia, you're beautiful and so brave. You really think so? She asked with a vulnerability that revealed her true age. I'm sure. And Ethan thinks so too, right, buddy? Live pretty, Ethan agreed, hugging her. Olivia laughed, a crystalline sound that filled the room with light. You guys are really nice. It's good to have visitors. Michael made a decision right then. Olivia, how about Ethan and I visit you every day while he's in the hospital? Every day, really? I promise. And so began a routine that would change all their lives. Every morning, Michael took Ethan to spend a few hours with Olivia. The two children developed a deep, inexplicable bond. Ethan, who had barely spoken before, began forming full sentences trying to talk to his friend. Olivia, in turn, seemed to grow stronger with each visit. A week later, Michael was in Olivia's room when her doctor, Dr. Catherine Williams, asked to speak with him. Mr. Thompson, I need to talk to you about Olivia. Did something happen? Quite the opposite. She's shown remarkable improvement since you started visiting. Emotional state greatly impacts treatment, and Olivia was, well, she was fading before she met you. She's an amazing girl, Doctor. She is. But I need to be honest with you, her treatment is expensive, and the insurance her parents had was cancelled. The hospital is covering it for now, but how much does the treatment cost? The doctor hesitated. It's imported medication, Mr. Thompson. We're talking about $50,000 a month. Michael didn't blink. I'll pay. Mr. Thompson, are you sure? There are no guarantees. Doctor, that girl saved my son. Not just physically, but emotionally. Ethan was fading away, and she brought him back. I have the means to help. It would be inhumane not to. You're a generous man. No, Doctor. I'm just repaying a kindness I received. But not everything would be smooth sailing in this story. When Michael shared his decision with Jennifer, his wife, during one of her rare visits to the hospital, her reaction wasn't what he expected. You want to pay for a stranger's treatment? Michael, be reasonable. Jennifer, she's not a stranger. She's the girl who took care of our son when we... What? Jennifer cut in defensively. I have an important job, Michael. I can't drop everything and stay at the hospital. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying this girl did for Ethan what no one else could. And that's why you want to spend a fortune on her. We have our own bills, Michael. Jennifer, we have more than enough money, you know that. That's not the point. You're getting too involved. It's not healthy. Michael looked at his wife, truly seeing her for the first time in a long while. When had they grown so distant? When had money become more important than compassion? Ethan loves that girl, Jennifer, and I've already given my word. Then, do what you want, as usual. She grabbed her designer purse and left the room, leaving behind a void Michael knew all too well. In the days that followed, Michael immersed himself even deeper in the hospital routine. He discovered Olivia dreamed of becoming a doctor when she grew up, so she could care for sick children like herself. Her grades were excellent, even though she studied alone at the hospital with materials teachers sent sporadically. Uncle. Michael, do you think I'll ever be able to become a doctor? Olivia asked during a chemotherapy session, while Ethan slept in her lap. I'm sure of it, Olivia. You already take such good care of Ethan. It's just, sometimes I'm afraid I won't have enough time. Hey, none of that. You're going to beat this illness and achieve all your dreams. Olivia smiled. but there was a sad wisdom in her eyes that shouldn't have been there. "You're really kind, Uncle Michael. Ethan's lucky to have a father like you. And I'm lucky to have met you, Olivia." That afternoon, Michael received a call that left him furious. It was from Olivia's family lawyer. "Mr. Thompson, this is Dr. Harrison. I understand you're interested in helping with Olivia Parker's treatment." "Yes, I've already spoken to the hospital about it." "I see, but her parents would like to speak with you first. Legal matters, you understand. They want to talk? Interesting, considering they haven't visited their daughter in months." "Mr. Thompson, every family copes with illness differently." "Doctor, with all due respect, I don't care how they cope. I care about Olivia's well-being. When do they want to meet?" "Tomorrow, if possible, at my office." Michael agreed, but something about the situation didn't sit right with him. The next day, he left Ethan with Olivia and Nurse Sarah and went to the meeting. The office was lavish in the heart of New York City, which only raised his suspicions. How could parents who abandoned their sick daughter afford such an expensive lawyer? In the meeting room, he found a well-dressed couple who bore no resemblance to parents desperate over a child with cancer. The woman, Emily, was blonde and thin, dressed in designer clothes. The man, Robert, had the arrogant air of someone used to getting his way. "Mr. Thompson, thank you for coming," Robert began without even mentioning his daughter. "Let's get straight to the point. You want to discuss Olivia's treatment." "Exactly," Emily interjected. "We heard about your interest in funding the treatment. And what's the problem?" "No problem at all," Robert smiled calculatedly. "We just thought that if you're so interested in helping, perhaps we could reach a more comprehensive agreement." "What kind of agreement?" "Well, you see, Olivia's treatment is only part of the costs. There's also our loss of productivity, the emotional toll." "Are you asking for money?" Michael couldn't hide his disbelief. "We're suggesting fair compensation," Emily said coldly. "After all, if you want to involve yourself in our daughter's life." Michael stood up, disgusted. "You abandoned an 8-year-old child with cancer. You don't visit her, you don't call, you cancelled her insurance. And now you want to profit from her illness?" "Mr. Thompson, watch your words," the lawyer interjected. "No, doctor. You watch yourselves. I'll pay for Olivia's treatment, directly to the hospital. If you try to interfere or approach her with these disgusting intentions, I'll spend every penny I have to make sure you lose custody for good." "You can't threaten us." Robert stood up too. "It's not a threat, it's a promise. That little girl deserves so much more than you." Michael left the office boiling with anger. How could people like this be parents? Olivia deserved so much love, and all she'd gotten was abandonment, and now this attempt at exploitation. When he returned to the hospital, he found a scene that warmed his heart. Olivia was reading a story to Ethan, who listened intently, sucking his thumb. "The little prince said, 'What is essential is invisible to the eye.'" Olivia read carefully. "Uncle Michael," she exclaimed when she saw him, "I'm teaching Ethan about The Little Prince. It's my favorite book." "It's a beautiful story." Michael sat with them. "Olivia, can I ask you something?" "Of course, Uncle." "Do you miss your parents?" Olivia grew quiet for a moment, hugging the book. "Sometimes, but I think they miss the Olivia I was before more. The healthy, pretty Olivia who wasn't any trouble. This sick Olivia, I think she embarrasses them." "You are not an embarrassment to anyone, understand? You're brave, smart, kind. You say that because you're nice, Uncle." "I say it because it's true." Ethan, sensing his friend's sadness, climbed onto her lap and hugged her. "Live, no cry. Eth, here." Olivia hugged the boy, tears streaming down her pale face. "Thank you, little one. You're my best friend." That night, Michael had a long phone call with Jennifer. "You're obsessed with this girl, Michael. It's not normal." "What's not normal is an 8-year-old going through this alone, Jennifer. She has parents. Parents who tried to extort money from me today. Parents who abandoned her because she got sick." "What? What do you mean, extort?" Michael told her about the meeting in the office. There was a long silence on the other end. My God, what kind of people do that? The kind who don't deserve a daughter like Olivia. "Michael, maybe I've been too harsh. It's just, I'm scared." "Scared of what?" "Of getting attached to her and the worst happening." It's already hard enough with Ethan being sick. Jennifer, we can't live in fear. Olivia brought life back to our son. He smiles, talks, eats, that's priceless. I'll come to the hospital tomorrow. I want to get to know her better. It was a start, Michael thought. In the following days, Olivia's treatment was officially taken over by Michael. Dr. Catherine was moved by the gesture. You're saving her life, Mr. Thompson. Not just with the treatment, but with your presence. She saved ours first, Doctor, but life in the hospital had its ups and downs. One morning, Michael arrived to find Olivia particularly worn out after a difficult chemotherapy session. "Hi, Uncle," she said weakly. "Sorry, I'm not feeling well enough to play with Ethan today." "Don't apologize, sweetheart. Should we leave?" "No, please don't. It's just, it hurts a lot today." Ethan, with the sensitivity children sometimes show, carefully climbed onto the bed and lay down beside Olivia, holding her small hand. "Get better soon, Liv," he whispered. Michael watched the two children, one comforting the other, and felt tears burn his eyes. How could the world be so cruel and so beautiful at the same time? Jennifer appeared at the door, hesitant. It was her first visit since Ethan's diagnosis. "Hi," she said softly. "Can I come in?" "Mom," Ethan exclaimed, but didn't move away from Olivia. "Hi, sweetheart, and you must be Olivia." Olivia tried to sit up, but Jennifer gently stopped her. "Stay lying down. Ethan told me all about you." "You're very pretty," Olivia said with childlike sincerity. "Thank you, sweetie, but you're even prettier on the inside where it really matters." It was the beginning of a change in Jennifer. She started visiting regularly, bringing books and activities for Olivia. She discovered she had more in common with the girl than she'd imagined. "You know, Olivia, I wanted to be a doctor when I was little too," Jennifer confessed one day. "Really, why didn't you?" "Oh, life led me down other paths. I became a corporate lawyer. But sometimes I wonder, it's never too late to change, Aunt Jennifer." Olivia's simple wisdom touched Jennifer deeply. But not everything was progress. Olivia's parents, angered by Michael's refusal to negotiate, began causing trouble. They showed up at the hospital one day, demanding to see their daughter. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now, continuing. Olivia was in physical therapy when they arrived. Michael was with her, helping with the exercises when Nurse Sarah rushed in. "Olivia, your parents are here." The girl's face lost all color. She gripped Michael's hand tightly. "I don't want to see them, Uncle, please." "It's okay, sweetheart. I'm here." Robert and Emily entered the room as if they owned the place. The contrast between their healthy, well-groomed appearance and Olivia's fragility was shocking. "Olivia, my love," Emily exclaimed with fake emotion. "We've missed you so much." Olivia shrank back, hiding behind Michael. "What do you want here?" Michael asked coldly. "To see our daughter, of course. We have that right," Robert replied. "After months of not showing up? After trying to extort money from me? Olivia, sweetie, don't you want to give Mommy a hug?" Emily ignored Michael, stepping closer. "No," Olivia screamed. "You don't care about me. You just want Uncle Michael's money." "That's absurd. Who put these ideas in your head?" Robert feigned outrage. "No one had to. I know you cancelled my insurance. I know you stopped paying the hospital. I know you're ashamed of me." "Olivia, you're just upset because of the medicine," Emily tried to approach again. "Don't come near her." Michael stepped between them. "You've done enough damage already. You have no right to our daughter." Robert raised his voice. "And you do? Where were you when she was crying in pain? When she spent her birthday alone? When she needed someone to hold her?" "Mr. Thompson, we'll have to call security," Sarah intervened. "Olivia, Shaz's too upset. This isn't good for her. We'll sue you," Emily threatened. "We're taking our daughter out of here." "No!" Olivia began to sob desperately. "I don't want to go. Uncle Michael, don't let them take me." Dr. Catherine rushed in, drawn by the commotion. "What's going on here? Olivia's in treatment. She can't handle this stress." "We're taking our daughter," Robert declared. "Impossible. She's in critical treatment. She can't leave the hospital." "Then we'll transfer her to another hospital." With what money? Michael challenged. You haven't paid for the treatment in months. That's none of your business. Gentlemen, please, Dr. Catherine intervened. Olivia needs peace. I'm going to ask you to leave now. Any legal matters can be resolved without the child present. Reluctantly, Robert and Emily left, but not without throwing threatening glances. Olivia cried in Michael's arms, her small body trembling. It's okay, my angel. No one's taking you away from here. Do you promise, Uncle? Promise I won't have to go with them? I promise, Olivia. I'll do everything in my power. That same afternoon, Michael called his lawyer. David, I need your help. It's urgent. He explained the whole situation, from the abandonment to the attempted extortion. Michael, it's a delicate case. They're still the biological parents. But they abandoned their daughter, David. Doesn't that count? It does, but we need to prove severe neglect. Do you have all their absences documented? The hospital has all the records. Months without visits, unpaid medical bills. Good. I'll file for a protective order immediately. And maybe we can discuss temporary custody for you. Custody? I could get custody of Olivia? It's possible given the history. But Michael, are you sure? It's a serious commitment. Michael looked into the room where Olivia and Ethan were playing. The little girl now calmer. I'm sure, David, that little girl won't suffer abandonment again. The news of possible custody lifted Olivia's spirits more than expected. Really, Uncle, I could live with you. If the judge allows it, yes. Would you like that? It would be a dream. Ethan and I could play every day. Surprisingly, Jennifer supported the decision. Michael, I've seen what her parents are like. No child deserves that. If we can give her a home. You've changed, Jennifer. Olivia changed me. She reminded me what really matters in life. But Olivia's parents wouldn't give up easily. They hired their own lawyers and started a dirty legal battle, spreading lies about Michael, insinuating he had ulterior motives. It's disgusting what they're doing, Jennifer vented after reading the accusations. How can they use their own daughter like this? They don't see Olivia as a daughter. They see her as a way to make money. The legal battle dragged on for weeks. Meanwhile, Olivia's condition worsened. The stress affected her treatment and she had to be admitted to the ICU. Michael never left her side. Ethan, now recovered from pneumonia, visited daily with Jennifer. Liv sick, Ethan said sadly, stroking his friend's hand. Hey, little one, Olivia whispered weakly. Don't be sad. I'll get better soon and we'll play again. But the doctors were worried. Mr. Thompson, her condition is fragile. Her emotional state is affecting her treatment and all this stress. What can we do, doctor? Pray and keep hope. Olivia is a fighter, but she needs peace to fight. It was Jennifer who came up with the idea that changed everything. Michael, what if we confronted her parents directly? Not through lawyers, but face to face. Do you think it would help? Look, I've been a lawyer for years. Sometimes when we remove the professionals and speak from the heart, it's worth a try. Olivia can't take this anymore. They arranged a meeting at a cafe near the hospital. Robert and Emily arrived suspiciously. What do you want? Our lawyers told us not to talk without them, Robert started. We want to talk about your daughter, Olivia. Remember her? Jennifer was direct. Of course we remember us, Emily snapped. Then why don't you visit her? Why did you abandon her when she needed you most? You don't understand, Emily averted her gaze. It's hard seeing her like this and sick, suffering, and you think it's easy for her, an 8-year-old facing cancer alone. We don't know how to handle this, Robert admitted for the first time. No one does, Michael exploded, but we learn. For love we face anything. It's easy for you to say. You have money, resources. I would have given my entire fortune to see my son smile again. And it was Olivia, the daughter you abandoned, who made that miracle happen. She did what? Emily asked, genuinely surprised. Jennifer told the whole story, from the first meeting to Ethan's recovery. Your daughter is extraordinary. Even sick, even abandoned, she has a generous heart that saved our son, and you're missing the chance to know this incredible person. Emily began to cry. I was so afraid of losing her, afraid I wouldn't be strong enough, and instead of facing that fear, you abandoned her. Jennifer didn't soften her words. You know what she said? That you're ashamed of her for being sick. No, Emily sobbed. I'm ashamed of myself for not being the mother she needs. Then be that now, Michael suggested. There's still time. She doesn't even want to see us, because you showed up asking for money. You turned her suffering into a negotiation. Robert hung his head, ashamed. It was the lawyer's idea. He said if someone wanted to pay for treatment, we could take advantage. And you agreed? What kind of parents are you? The kind who failed, Robert admitted. We failed her from the moment of the diagnosis. Then fix it, Jennifer challenged. Drop this ridiculous legal battle. Visit your daughter without ulterior motives. Be the parent she deserves. But what about custody? Emily asked. We can work together, Michael proposed. What matters is Olivia's well-being. If you truly commit to being there, I won't try to take her from you. But if you abandon her again, we won't, Emily promised through tears. I want my daughter back. Not the healthy Olivia I lost, but the Olivia she is now. Then prove it, Jennifer concluded. Actions, not words. The change wasn't immediate. Robert and Emily started with short, supervised visits. Olivia was resistant, too hurt to trust easily. Why now? She asked during the first visit. Why do you suddenly want to be my parents? Because we finally understand what we were missing, Emily answered honestly. Olivia, I don't expect you to forgive me now, but can I try to be the mother you deserve from here on? What if I get sicker? Will you disappear again? No, my love, never again. It took many visits, many conversations, many tears to rebuild that relationship. Michael and Jennifer were always there, supporting them. One afternoon, Olivia held her mother's hand during chemotherapy for the first time in months. It hurts, Mom, she whispered. I know, my love, but I'm here now. It was a beginning. Olivia's treatment continued with ups and downs. There were moments of hope when the tumors responded well and moments of despair when complications arose. Ethan was her constant strength. The boy, now fully recovered, visited Olivia religiously. Liv, look! He proudly showed her his drawings. I made these for you. They're beautiful, little one. I'll put them on my wall. Olivia's bedroom wall was covered with Ethan's drawings, each one telling a story of friendship and love. Michael had become a father figure to her. Days Robert couldn't come. It was Michael who accompanied her to appointments. Uncle Michael, I'm scared, she confessed before a particularly invasive biopsy. I would be too, sweetheart. But you know what we do with fear. What? We face it together. You're not alone. Promise you'll wait for me. I'll be right here when you come back. Jennifer, in turn, discovered a calling she never knew she had. She began studying pediatric oncology, talking to doctors, researching alternative treatments. You should have been a doctor, Olivia remarked one day watching Jennifer study. Maybe I still will be. Hey, it's never too late to start over like you taught me. You'll make a wonderful doctor. The bond between the two families deepened in unexpected ways. Emily and Jennifer, initially tense with each other, discovered they shared similar fears and hopes. How do you handle it? Emily asked one day after bad news about the treatment. How do you not fall apart? I do fall apart, Jennifer admitted, but in private. In front of her, we have to be strong. I don't know if I can. Yes, you can. For her, we can do anything. Robert changed too. The arrogant man from their first meeting became a devoted father, rearranging his professional life to be more present. I wasted so much time, he confessed to Michael during a night vigil at the hospital. I thought working and providing was enough. We've all made that mistake, Michael acknowledged. What matters is that you're here now. Thank you for not giving up on her when we did. I should be thanking her. Olivia saved my family. But life has cruel ways of testing our resilience. After months of treatment and apparent improvement, Olivia suffered a severe relapse. The doctors found metastases that weren't responding to conventional treatments. We need to consider a bone marrow transplant, Dr. Catherine announced gravely. Am I a match? Emily asked immediately. We'll test the whole family. But I must be honest, even with the transplant, the chances... No, Michael interrupted. We're not talking about giving up. Olivia is a fighter. Everyone was tested. Michael, Jennifer, Robert, Emily, even little Ethan insisted on being examined, though he didn't fully understand. "I save Liv," he declared bravely. The wait for the results was agonizing. Olivia, despite her condition, kept her spirit. "Stop looking so gloomy," she scolded gently. "You look like you're at a funeral." "Olivia," Emily chided. "Mom, we have to laugh, otherwise fear wins." The wisdom of that child continued to amaze everyone. The results came in. Neither parent was a match. Michael and Jennifer weren't either. Hope seemed to fade, until Dr. Catherine entered with a smile. "We found a matching donor on the National Registry. It's rare, but we have one." The joy was short-lived when they learned the donor had backed out at the last minute. "Personal reasons," they said. "How could someone do that?" Jennifer cried in frustration. "It's a child's life." Robert had a desperate idea. "What if we launched a campaign? Social media, the press. Someone out there might be a match and not know." "Robert, the odds are slim," Dr. Catherine cautioned. "But they exist, and as long as they do, we'll try." The Save Olivia campaign went viral in days. The story of the girl who saved a little boy in the hospital touched thousands of hearts. People across the United States registered as donors. Ethan, not fully understanding, recorded a video that moved everyone. "Liv is my friend. She takes care of me. Now I take care of her. Please help." The video got millions of views, but days passed and no matching donor appeared. Olivia grew visibly weaker. One particularly hard afternoon, she called Michael. "Uncle, if I don't make it—" "You will," he interrupted. "Listen, please, if I don't make it, promise you'll take care of my parents." "Olivia, they can be silly sometimes, but they love me. They just don't always know how to show it. Promise." "I promise, sweetheart. But you'll be okay. And take care of Ethan too. Don't let him be sad." "Olivia, stop this." "Uncle Michael, I'm not afraid." "You know why?" "Why?" "Because I met all of you. Because I was loved. Because my life had meaning. Not everyone can say that." Michael couldn't hold back his tears. "You still have so much to live for, Olivia. So many people to help. So many dreams to fulfill." "Then let's hope a donor shows up, right?" That's when the miracle happened. Not in the way they expected, but a miracle nonetheless. A woman appeared at the hospital asking to speak to Olivia's parents. She was young, maybe 30, with eyes red from crying. "My name is Charlotte. I saw the campaign. I got tested and I'm a match." The joy was instant, but Charlotte continued. "But I need to tell you something first. I'm Olivia's sister." The silence that followed was deafening. "What do you mean, sister?" Emily asked, confused. "Half-sister, on our father's side." All eyes turned to Robert, who paled. "Robert?" Emily demanded an explanation. It was before I met you, Emily. I was very young, her mother. We gave the baby up for adoption. You have another daughter, and never told me." I tried to forget. It was so long ago." Charlotte interrupted the argument. "I didn't come to cause trouble. When I saw Olivia's photo in the campaign, something caught my attention. I did some research, found out about you. I got tested out of desperation, without much hope. But when it came back a match, you'd save your sister's life, even without knowing us," Jennifer asked, emotional. "She's my sister, my blood. How could I not save her?" The process moved quickly after that. Charlotte went through all the necessary tests, prepared for the donation. Olivia was told about her sister gently. "I have a sister?" Her eyes sparkled. "The real sister?" "Yes, sweetheart, and she's going to save your life," Emily confirmed, still processing everything. "Can I meet her?" "Of course you can." The meeting between the sisters was magical. Despite never having met, there was an instant connection. "You're pretty," Olivia said simply. "You look like me before my hair fell out." "You're prettier," Charlotte replied, "inside and out." "Why didn't I know you before?" "It's complicated, little one. But I'm here now." Forever? Forever. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It Helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now continuing. The transplant was scheduled. The preparation was intense, with Olivia undergoing aggressive chemotherapy to prepare her body. "Will it hurt a lot?" she asked Charlotte. "A little, but it's worth it to see you healthy. You're brave. I learned from my little sister." Michael supported them through the entire process, being the emotional rock everyone needed. The revelation about Charlotte had shaken Robert and Emily's marriage, but they agreed to focus on Olivia first. "We'll work out our problems later," Emily said firmly. "Right now our daughter needs us united." The day of the transplant arrived. Olivia was weak but determined. Ethan insisted on seeing her before she went into the operating room. "Liv's gonna be okay," he declared with childlike conviction. "I will, little one, and when I get out we'll play so much. Promise?" "Pinky promise." She raised her weak finger, and they sealed the deal. The wait during the procedure was agonizing. 2 rooms, 2 sisters, one intertwined fate. Michael, Jennifer, Robert, and Emily waited together, their differences temporarily forgotten. "She's going to make it." Jennifer held Emily's hand. "Both of them will." "How was I so blind?" Emily murmured. "I almost lost my daughter out of fear, and Robert—" "We can't change the past," Michael interjected, "but the future is still in our hands." Hours later, Dr. Catherine appeared, smiling. "Everything went well, now we wait for recovery." The following weeks were critical. Olivia was in isolation, her immune system destroyed while waiting for the new cells to take hold. Only one person at a time could visit her, and even then they had to wear special protective clothing. Charlotte was the first to see her. "Hey, little sis," she whispered through her mask. "Did it work?" Olivia asked weakly. "We'll find out. Soon. But I have faith." "Char? Yeah? Thank you for choosing me, for being my sister." "I'm the one who should thank you, Olivia. You gave me a family." Day after day, everyone took turns visiting. Ethan drew pictures that were taped to the outside of the glass for Olivia to see. Robert and Emily grew closer again, united by fear and hope. "Forgive me?" Robert asked one night. "We have a lot to talk about," Emily replied. "But Olivia needs... Say us whole right now, later we'll see." It was Jennifer who noticed the first signs of improvement. "Olivia, your cheeks are rosy." "Really?" The girl touched her own face. "It's been so long since I've seen color in me." The tests confirmed. Charlotte's cells were taking hold. Olivia's body was starting to produce healthy blood again. "It's a miracle," Dr. Catherine said, moved. "I don't use that word lightly, but that's what it is." The recovery would still be long, but hope was reborn. Olivia gradually grew stronger, began eating better, even took a few tentative steps. The day she was finally allowed out of isolation was a celebration. Ethan was the first to hug her. Liv's back." "I'm back, little one. A promise is a promise." The 2 families gathered in the room. Michael, Jennifer, and Ethan, Robert, Emily, and now Charlotte. An extended family, bound by love and resilience. "We have something to tell you," Michael announced. "Jennifer and I talked a lot, and we want to know if you'd like... We'd love for you to be our daughter in every way," Jennifer finished. "Officially, a special goddaughter." "And I talked to my parents," Charlotte added. "I want to be part of your life, if you'll let me." Olivia looked around, tears of joy streaming down her face. "So I have 3 moms, 2 dads, a sister, a brother. You have a family who loves you," Emily summed up, "in every way possible." "That's a lot of family," Olivia laughed for the first time in months. "I think I'm the luckiest girl in the world." But the story didn't end with the successful transplant. Life, in all its complexity, still held challenges and lessons ahead. Charlotte's adjustment to the family was delicate. There were old resentments, especially after she revealed more details about her past. "My mother never got over it," she shared one afternoon. "Having to give me up for adoption because her father wouldn't take responsibility. She died believing I wasn't worth enough." Robert carried that guilt tenfold. Not only had he abandoned one daughter, but his actions had destroyed another life. "I was a coward," he admitted, "and I kept being one with Olivia. It's a pattern I need to break." The first step is recognizing it, Michael advised. The second is acting differently from now on. Olivia, with her childlike wisdom, was the one who brought everyone together. Dad, you messed up, but you're here now. Char, you suffered, but you saved me. We can't change the past, but we can choose our future. Olivia's physical recovery progressed well, but the emotional scars from her early abandonment still surfaced. Nightmares, where she'd wake up screaming that she didn't want to be alone. Never again, sweetheart, Emily would soothe her. You'll never be alone again. Promise? With my life. Jennifer decided to make a radical change in her career. Inspired by Olivia, she enrolled in a specialization course in hospital psychology. I want to help other kids like you, she explained. Kids facing serious illnesses who need emotional support. You'll be the best psychologist in the world, Aunt Jen. Ethan and Olivia developed their own language, a way of communicating that went beyond words. He knew when she was sad before. Any adult noticed. Liv sad? He'd ask, climbing onto her lap. A little. Eth make Liv laugh. And he'd start his antics until he drew out her smiles. The relationship between the families became beautifully formalized. They created a system where Olivia spent time with everyone, always respecting her health limits. Charlotte moved closer, determined to make up for lost time. I always wanted a sister, she confessed. I just never imagined I'd find her this way. The universe has its plans, Olivia mused. Maybe we needed to go through all this to find each other. But not everything was roses. The treatment had left lasting effects. Olivia would likely never be able to have children. Her kidneys were damaged. She'd need medical care for the rest of her life. It's not fair, she cried upon hearing the news. Why me? It was Michael who comforted her. Though we don't know why, sweetheart, but I know you're strong enough to handle this and you're not alone. But I want it to be normal. Normal is overrated. You're extraordinary, Olivia, and the world needs extraordinary people. Schultwam was another challenge. After nearly 2 years in the hospital, Olivia was behind academically and had to face the cruel curiosity of some children. Why are you bald? A classmate asked spitefully. Because I fought a dragon and won, Olivia replied, lifting her chin. My hair was the price of victory, but there were hard days when she came home crying. They say I'm weird, that I can spread sickness. Ignorant people say ignorant things, Jennifer hugged her. You're perfect just as you are. It was Ethan, in his innocence, who gave the best response. The next day, he showed up with a shaved head. Eth, Olivia gasped, your hair. Now we same, he declared proudly. Liv and Eth, the bald poudful. His act inspired others. Soon, several of Olivia's classmates shaved their heads in solidarity. What began as bullying turned into a lesson in empathy for the whole school. Robert, moved by his daughter's courage, decided to face his own demons. He sought therapy, worked through his patterns of abandonment and cowardice. I want to be the father you both deserve, he told Olivia and Charlotte. I know I can't change the past, but I can be better now. We can all be better, Olivia hugged him. What matters is trying. Life went on with its ups and downs. Olivia had minor relapses, scares that mobilized everyone, but each time she emerged stronger. About 2 years after the transplant, she announced a decision. I want to start a foundation. A foundation, Emily asked, surprised, for children with cancer who've been abandoned, so no child has to go through what I did. Michael smiled proudly. What would this foundation do? It would offer psychological support, financial help for families, and most importantly, a Heart Families program. People like you were that for me. It's an ambitious project, Robert considered, but possible, Jennifer added. With our network, we can make it happen. And so, the Little Warriors Foundation was born. Olivia, at 11, became the youngest founder of an NGO in the United States. The opening was emotional. Dozens of families attended, many with stories like Olivia's. Every child deserves love, Olivia spoke. No trace left of the fragile girl she'd once been. Every child deserves a chance. And if their birth parents can't give that, then Heart families should be ready to step in. Ethan, now 5, was the first junior volunteer. "I tell stories to kids," he announced firmly. The foundation grew quickly. Within 6 months, they'd already helped 50 families. The mentorship program connected sick children with older siblings who had overcome the illness. Charlotte became the coordinator of the sibling support program. "Often the healthy siblings are forgotten," she explained. "All the attention goes to the sick child, but they suffer too. They also need support." Jennifer, now a graduate in hospital psychology, led the emotional support team. "I learned from the best teacher," she winked at Olivia. "Strength comes from within, but love comes from all around." Robert and Emily, who had weathered their marital crisis and were closer than ever, handled the administrative and legal aspects. "It's our way of making amends," Robert explained. "We can't change how we acted with Olivia at first, but we can make sure other children don't go through the same." Michael remained the primary funder, but now with a network of donors who believed in the project. "Olivia changed my perspective on what truly matters," he told investors. "Money without purpose is just paper. Money that saves lives, that brings families together, that has real value." But the universe still had surprises in store. One ordinary morning, Olivia woke up feeling strange. "Mom, I think something's wrong," she called to Emily, worried. They rushed to the hospital. Tests were done urgently, the fear of the cancer returning looming over everyone. Dr. Catherine entered with an unreadable expression. "Olivia, family, the tests showed something unexpected." "Did the cancer come back?" Olivia asked bravely. "No, quite the opposite. Your results are perfect, but we found something we didn't expect." "What?" "Your ovaries, which we believed, were permanently damaged. They're showing signs of recovery. It's extremely rare, but not impossible." Olivia's eyes widened. "Does that mean—" "It means that maybe in the future, you could have children. It's not guaranteed, but it's a possibility that didn't exist before." Tears streamed down her face. Years of accepting she'd never be a mother, and now this unexpected hope. "It's a miracle," Emily whispered. "It's resilience," Dr. Catherine corrected. "The human body has a capacity for healing we still don't fully understand. And Olivia has always been an exceptional fighter." The news energized their work at the foundation even more. If miracles were possible, then every child deserved the chance to experience theirs. Years passed. Olivia grew up, graduated from medical school as she'd always dreamed. Ethan, her forever little one, now a teenager, followed in his heart-sister's footsteps, determined to become a pediatrician. "I want to care for kids like you cared for me," he said on the day he got into college. "You already do," Olivia hugged him. "You always have." Charlotte married and had children. Olivia became their godmother, crying with emotion as she held her nieces and nephews. "They're perfect," she whispered. "Just like their aunt," Charlotte replied. The Little Warriors Foundation became a national model. Thousands of children were helped, families reunited, lives saved. Robert and Emily, now grandparents to Charlotte's children, devoted themselves fully to the foundation. "We found our purpose," Emily explained. "Olivia taught us that suffering can be turned into love multiplied." Michael and Jennifer remained Olivia's emotional pillars. When she doubted herself as a doctor, they reminded her of her strength. "You saved our son when you were a sick child," Jennifer recalled. "Imagine what you can do now, healthy and prepared." And that's exactly what Olivia did. She specialized in pediatric oncology, completing the circle of her journey. Her first day as a full-fledged doctor was at the same hospital where it all began. The same Dr. Catherine, now nearing retirement, greeted her. "Dr. Olivia," she said, with pride, "there's a special patient waiting for you." In the room, an 8-year-old girl, bald from chemotherapy, cried in fear. "Hi," Olivia entered softly. "My name is Dr. Olivia, but you can just call me Olivia." "Doctor, but you're so young. I have experience," Olivia smiled, pointing to her own head, where her hair had grown back thin and different. "I was bald, too. I was scared too, but I won, and you will too." How do you know? Because you're not alone, and when we're not alone, we're invincible. The girl stopped crying, hope shining in her eyes. Outside, Ethan, now a resident, watched proudly. She has the gift, he remarked to Dr. Catherine. She always has, since she was tiny. That night, Olivia gathered both her families for dinner. Michael and Jennifer, Robert and Emily, Charlotte with her husband and kids, Ethan with his girlfriend. I want to make a toast, Olivia stood up. To the parents who abandoned me and then found me. To the parents who chose me when I needed it most. To the sister who saved me. To the brother who taught me to never give up. To all of you who turned a sick and lonely girl into the woman I am today. To you, Michael replied, who taught us the true meaning of love. To love, everyone toasted. That conquers all illnesses. But life, always surprising, had one last card up its sleeve. Months later, Olivia met Daniel, a widower with a 6-year-old daughter battling leukemia. The attraction was instant, but the situation was complicated. I don't know if I'm ready for another relationship, Daniel confessed. I lost my wife 2 years ago, and now with Lily sick, you don't have to be ready, Olivia replied with the wisdom of someone who knew pain. You just have to be open. Lily, his little girl, connected with Olivia immediately. You're pretty, she said simply, even with little hair. You are too, inside and out. Will I get better like you? Even better. The relationship grew naturally. Olivia helped with Lily's treatment, but she was more than a doctor. She was a friend, a confidant, a beacon of hope. You make her smile, Daniel said, moved. She hasn't smiled like this since her mother died. She makes me smile too, both of you do. When Daniel proposed, it was Lily who handed over the ring. Will you be my mom? The girl asked. I know. I had another mom, but I think hearts have room for two. It would be the greatest honor of my life, Olivia answered through tears. The wedding was held in the hospital garden, with patients, doctors, and both families present. Ethan was the best man, Charlotte the maid of honor. Who would have thought, Robert whispered to Emily, our broken girl became this incredible woman. She was never broken, Emily corrected, just needed polishing to shine. Lily, in remission for 6 months, scattered flowers down the aisle. The image of the bald little girl smiling reminded everyone of another girl years ago who found love when she needed it most. In her speech, Olivia summed up her journey. They say God writes straight with crooked lines. My life is proof of that. Every abandonment prepared me for a meeting. Every pain taught me about love. Every loss multiplied my gains. Today, I look at you, my families, my loves, and I know every tear was worth it. Because they brought me here, to this moment, to this happiness I thought impossible. Michael, emotional, whispered to Jennifer, remember that day at the hospital, when she fed our son? How could I forget? It was when our lives changed. Changed for the better, infinitely better. The celebration continued under the stars. Children from the foundation danced. Families united by pain and hope celebrated life. Olivia danced with all her fathers, with Robert, who learned to be present, with Michael, who chose her when no one else would, with Daniel, who chose her to rebuild his family. 3 dads, she laughed. That's got to be some kind of record. 3 fathers who love you, Michael answered, each in their own way. With Ethan, dancing was special. Remember when you used to call me Liv? She asked nostalgically. I still do, just in my head, he laughed. You'll always be my Liv, the girl who taught me how to love, and you'll always be my little one, even at 6 feet tall. The night wore on, but no one wanted to leave. It was more than a wedding. It was a celebration of lives woven together by fate. Charlotte gave a heartfelt speech. I grew up thinking I was alone in the world, that my father didn't want me, that my mother died because of me. Then I found Olivia, my sister, my blood, my salvation. I saved her life with my bone marrow, but she saved my soul with her love. Thank you, little sis, for giving me a family. The years that followed brought even more blessings. Lily grew up healthy and became a volunteer at the foundation. Olivia and Daniel, against all medical odds, managed to have a child. It's impossible, the doctor said in disbelief. With your history, I've learned that impossible is just a word, Olivia replied, cradling her belly. My son will be one more miracle in a life full of them. Noah was born healthy, surrounded by a family that defied conventional definitions. 3 grandfathers, 3 grandmothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, a constellation of love. He's perfect. Emily cried as she held her grandson. Just like his mother, Jennifer added. The 2 women, united by their shared motherhood of Olivia, had become the closest of friends. The foundation expanded nationwide, branches in every state, thousands of volunteers. Countless lives changed. Olivia was invited to speak at the UN about her work. On stage, before world leaders, she told her story. I was a child abandoned out of fear, but I was found by love. Today I work so no child has to go through what I did. So fear never wins. Over love. So illness brings people together, not apart. So family is about choice, not just blood. The audience rose in a standing ovation. But for Olivia, the most moving moment was seeing her family in the crowd. All of them. Every face a part of her story. Back in the United States, a surprise awaited her. The hospital where it all began was being renamed Olivia Parker Children's Hospital. I don't deserve this, she protested. You deserve more, Dr. Catherine, now retired but still present, insisted. You transformed this place, from a space of pain to one of hope. At the inauguration, hundreds of children she had treated attended, each with their own story, each with a life saved or changed. Ethan, now head of pediatrics, gave the keynote speech. I met Olivia when I was 2 years old. I was dying without hope. She, at 8 years old, sick, abandoned, fed me, saved me. Not just physically, but she taught me that love has no age, no condition, no limits. Today, this hospital bears her name, but more than that, it carries her spirit. Every child who walks through these doors will find what she gave me. Hope, love, family. The applause was deafening. Olivia wept, clinging to Daniel, Lily, and Noah. I'm so proud of you, Daniel whispered. We're proud, Lily corrected. Family, remember? Life went on, with all its complexities and beauty. Robert and Charlotte developed a true father-daughter bond, healing old wounds. I'm sorry for what I lost, he said at a family lunch. Me too, but look at what we've gained, Charlotte said, gesturing to the full table. The winding road was worth it. Michael and Jennifer renewed their vows, inspired by the love they had witnessed. Olivia taught us that love is a daily choice, Michael said. I choose you today and always. And I choose our family, all of it in its beautiful complexity. Noah grew up surrounded by love and stories. His favorite was about the bald little girl who saved a sick boy. Was that you, Mommy? He would always ask. He was. And the boy was your uncle Ethan. And did they live happily ever after? Better than that, they lived loved forever. On an ordinary afternoon, Olivia received a letter that moved her deeply. It was from one of the first children she had treated, now grown up. Dr. Olivia, you may not remember me. I was your patient 10 years ago when you had just graduated. I was terrified, hopeless. You sat with me, showed me your scars, shared your story. You told me I wasn't alone. Today, I write to tell you I've graduated from medical school, pediatric oncology, like you. Because I want to be for other children what you were for me, living proof that love conquers fear, always. Thank you for existing. With love, Madison. Olivia held the letter close, tears of joy streaming down her face. What happened, love? Daniel asked, concerned. The circle is complete. She showed him the letter. The chain of love continues. That night, Olivia gathered their families once again. It had become a tradition, monthly dinners where everyone came together. The table was full. Michael and Jennifer, now doting grandparents to Noah. Robert and Emily reconciled and closer than ever. Charlotte with her growing family. Ethan with his pregnant wife. Lily, a beautiful teenager, helping serve. Noah running between the chairs. You know, Olivia began. I spent so much time wondering why I had to suffer so much as a child. Why the abandonment, the illness, the loneliness. Today, I know. Everyone listened intently. It was so I could understand that family isn't about blood. It's about choice. Each of you chose me. And I chose you. Every single day, I choose you. My own little constellation of love. To love that chooses, Michael raised his glass. To love that saves, Jennifer added. To love that forgives, Robert continued. To love that unites, Emily said. To love that heals, Charlotte said, moved. To love that transforms, Ethan smiled. To love that endures, Daniel hugged Olivia. To family, Lily concluded. That love built. The toast echoed through the house full of life, laughter, and memories. Outside, the moon shone over New York City, a silent witness to a story that began with abandonment and blossomed into multiplied love. Olivia looked around the table, each beloved face, each story intertwined with hers. The bald, lonely girl from the hospital had become a woman surrounded by love, multiplying that love for hundreds of other children. You know the best part? Noah asked innocently. What, my love? The story isn't over yet. There's still so much love left to happen. And there was. Because some stories don't end. They transform, they multiply, they live on in every life touched, in every love shared, in every choice to never give up. Olivia smiled, agreeing with her son's wisdom. The story continued. And it would keep going as long as there were hearts willing to choose love over fear, hope over abandonment, family over loneliness. At that table, on that night, with those people, Olivia was certain. Every tear had been worth it. Because they had turned her into a bridge between suffering and triumph, between abandonment and belonging, between illness and healing. And that bridge would remain strong, allowing others to cross from despair to hope, guided by the light of a girl who refused to let the darkness win. The end. And so, dear listener, what did you think of this touching journey? Where are you joining us from today? If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts with us. Leave a like if you too believe in the transformative power of love, and subscribe for more soul-warming stories.